Well, let's start. What was your first point of contact with Lori, for example?
I was in Randy's house in Nuevo. I was struggling for a couple of years. Like Lori mentioned, I was homeless in Grand Rapids. Very grateful now that that happened, that I ended up at Randy's house in Nuevo. They took me, basically at that point I had run out of options. Nobody wanted me. I had been to so many rehabs. And one of the things they said was to get somebody to help you with credit counseling, get everything situated. So that's when I called Lori here at TrueNorth. She kind of got me going with what I needed to do. I got a job at Magna. Really grateful to Magna because nobody wanted to hire me either, So Magna took a chance. They hired me and just started knocking out. Remember, she sent me letters to send to my creditors. So slowly started paying those off. The credit score slowly started inching up, and just kind of kept at it. And with Lori helping me out, Randy's house being a wonderful program.
Were you staying there while you were working at Donnelly?
Yes. Okay. Yep. I was walking, which isn't a long walk from downtown Nuevo to Magna, but it's a walk, especially second shift in the middle of the night. I always joke that I didn't have to worry about driving and hitting a deer, but I had to worry about walking and hitting, because I used to have deer run in front of me while I'm walking home.
Oh my gosh.
So, but I did that. I walked home in the rain and the snow, and I just kept at it and kept that goal of owning my own home, because that was my number one goal, was security. I never wanted to be homeless again. Never wanted to be in that situation where I have nowhere to go. I was walking home from work once and I saw a car for sale. It was a 2006 Crown Victoria. The lady sold it to me for $1,000, which I had saved. And that car lasted me for over a year, and then when I moved into this house, I was able to replace it with another newer car. Everything has just amazingly, just kind of one after another, fallen into place. And
well, you had a layoff at Magna, and because I prepared him to set money aside for emergencies. When the layoff happened, he was able to still pay what he needed to pay without it
adversely affecting you.
Yeah. So he called and told me that, and it's like, and he says, "I'm so glad I listened."
Yeah, absolutely. And all through the process, especially remember when I had the inspection.
Yep.
And I remember calling Lori and saying, "This is just over. I mean, I'm going to an appraisal, an inspection, and all this stuff is going on." And she said, "Send me the inspection." She went through it with me. She sent me a paper copy of it, because now I'm going to just start ticking things off that I need to repair.
It was 105 pages.
It was huge.
So it was very overwhelming. But I had him send it to me, so I went through it. And,
But she kept me kind of focused and on the straight and narrow, and keeping my eyes on the goal, and the goal was to own my own home. Boy, I couldn't be more happier now. I mean, every day I leave my home, I am so grateful, and I thank God that I have a house. This is mine. But you know what? I look back 2 years ago, and I think, wow. I mean, this actually happened. I had a friend from work help me move in. And he's a younger guy, and he wondered what was wrong with me, because when I walked into that house, when I first got the keys and walked in, I had tears in my eyes, and I just looked up, and he was looking at me like, "What are you, crazy? Are you crying?" But he didn't know the situation and what it took to get to that point. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without Lori, and on my own, I don't know if I would have been able to do it. It's just, I'm amazed and still pinching myself when I get home at night and the heat's on, turn the water on, and there's food in the refrigerator, because I had been, helped by the food pantry here when I was in the, at Randy's house. It's just amazing that I own a home now. If I can do it, I mean, I was holding my hand out on the streets of Grand Rapids, homeless, 2 years ago. And, you know, to walk into that home the first time and have tears in my eyes, and it was just an unbelievable experience. I couldn't believe it, you know, that this happened.